Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the C Kappa Invitationals. We've got Game 3 of RRQ versus Arcanys ready to get underway. I'm Zyori, this is moonducktv. Let's get this shit going. We've got the ace match between these teams. The winner moving on to the semifinals. The loser moving down to the lower bracket. But as we've mentioned a few times already, folks, no elimination here in this series. You're going to get to see your two favorite teams, RRQ and Arcanys, coming up later on in the tournament. It's been an epic series so far, back and forth. Last game, Arcanys bested RRQ with their Spectre, the Light Radiance, but still made it happen. They came out, they showed them what they were made of, and they made that Sven look like a little turkey. Now, RRQ finally have to switch it up a little bit. Here, they do not ban out the Bounty Hunter Beastmaster. Instead, they ban out the Prophet. They dealt with it well in Game 1. Game 2, it got the better of them. Here in Game 3, they're going to go back to their roots and try to take this guy out. Now they're going to pick up the Bounty Hunter, a hero that they obviously prioritize a lot. They first banned or first picked him in every single game that we have seen thus far. So we'll see how it works out, how they make it happen. So if you're Arcanys, thinking right now, how do I deal with the Bounty Hunter? I think you definitely want to take somewhat reliant supports that are a bit more mobile, have ways to get away from the Bounty Hunter. Even something like Avenge with a stun, something that can just stop him dead in his tracks and, make some space for other folks to come out and try and save you. There are certain supports that just crumble under the Bounty Hunter. I would probably avoid a jungling hero if I were Arcanys right now. Probably pick a mid who's a little bit less susceptible to it. Probably a game where I wouldn't pick the Zeus, wouldn't pick the Shadow Fiend. Heroes like this, you're definitely going to want to stay away from. Old Dirty, he still makes it into the pool here. I kind of like Rubik against Bounty Hunter, honestly. Now, Bounty Hunter can definitely pick on Rubik a little bit in kind of a vacuum. But stealing track is really potent. There's actually a lot of good spells that you can steal from Bounty Hunter. Even just being able to get the Ghost Walk or the Shadow Walk, whatever, is pretty scary. So Disruptor Sven here for Arcanys. They know what they want, and it's what we've seen a lot of this series already. Great team fight, all the things that we've talked about. Sven brings a lot to the table. He comes online earlier than most carries, but still scales very well towards that mid to late game. Disruptor, another good scaling support. Can get picked on by the Bounty Hunter, though. Of course, Glimpse is a very powerful tool in getting away, but he also has a lot of slows, and with track, he has a lot of movement speed advantages as well, and oftentimes Glimpse is not enough for the Disruptor to completely get off scot-free against a Bounty Hunter, unless he's like right under a tower or not that far forward, or the Bounty Hunter is really overextended, some kind of scenario like that. Rubik Disruptor could be an okay support duo, actually. Gives you some pretty good control. Set up with the Rubik as well, can synergize with the Disruptor in his kinetic field, can kind of throw people into static storms if you're really on point. Sets up well for the Sven as well. 2 range supports, not bad to have. RRQ thinking hard about this second pick. I think they're probably considering an Outworld Devourer. Well, they're definitely considering it, but what else are they considering is the question. Who else is really good against Sven? Gyrocopter is a hero that we've seen banned by them a lot. I wonder if they'll try to pick up a Gyrocopter here, if they feel like that's some sort of a solution. Personally, I don't really think so. I think Sven can deal with him just fine.
Dire team ban.
Shadow Shaman.
Radiant team ban.
I guess Shadow Shaman's pretty good. I don't want to hate on it, but I feel like he is just food for Sven.
10 seconds
Early on,
remaining.
the laning phase and what have you, the crowd controls are very good. Don't get me
5
wrong.
seconds
Shackle locks
remaining.
him in place. You can get Blink Hex, have some good initiation to catch him before he could use a BKB, for example.
Reserve time.
Obviously, if you win team fights, you can push off of it, utilizing the
Dire
wards,
team
pressure
back.
towers, take Roche very early. The wards open up a lot of possibilities that other supports don't give you, especially right at that timing when you ding 6.
Radiant team
But these are 2
ban.
very squishy heroes. Bounty Hunter and Shadow Shaman is one of those openings where I feel like if you dominate the lanes and you carry that momentum, these heroes are incredible and allow you to just control every aspect in the mid game. But if they both fall behind, if you take a bad 3v3 in the early laning phase, they're just completely made of paper and very reliant on positioning. You know, Bounty Hunter seems tanky because he can go invisible. But if you've got Dust at the ready, you can shut him down early on. I mean, that's one of the problems with the early pick Bounty Hunter. Games where you see Bounty Hunter really shine are when he's more of a pocket pick. You know, if they go with an early Chen or, you know, they'll be doing a jungle Enchantress. Bounty Hunter can be obnoxious in those games. And sometimes they're just, you know, a squishy tri-lane where you think, all right, Bounty Hunter's going to be able to pick on this Shadow Fiend mid, and he's a good pick. As the very first hero in the game, allowing the opposition to build their draft around the Bounty Hunter, heroes like Sven are not really that concerned with Bounty. He's got a lot of armor. He's got a stun. If anything, it should be the other way around. Bounty has to initiate on Sven when he has help nearby, when they can find a secure kill to do extra damage. He can't just kind of willy-nilly poke the Sven and harass him out of lane. Sven can go blow for blow with him and win almost every time, at least in an all things equal kind of scenario. So RRQ maybe thinking about like synergizing some stuff with the Shadow Shaman. We've seen the Juggernaut banned out a couple times. There's some natural synergy there. Hit him with the crowd controls and do a Blade Fury. You know, old but potent, classic pub stomping combo. But definitely does work in the pro scene. Third and fourth bans from both sides making a lot of sense here. Zeus, we've seen a lot of Broodmother, a pocket pick you always need to be wary of. And these are two heroes that are not very good at dealing with the Brood. That's for damn sure. Gyrocopter, Death Prophet, more team fight, banned out by Arcanys, and they will pick up more team fight for themselves with the Darkseer. So that Juggernaut probably looking a little bit more ripe for the pick in there, and indeed they will. RRQ, pick him up. As we mentioned before, one of the few safe lane melee carries that can match up against Darkseer in the lane at least somewhat well, being able to go magic immune as well as heal yourself. You can deal with that Ion Shell better than most safe lane carries that don't have that range advantage. So nice combo there. And Shadow Shaman Jug actually have kill power on the Darkseer. Hex is not always the best against Surge because that's movement speed and whatnot, but Shackle is really good against the Darkseer. You can lock him in place for a pretty good duration, and old Juggy can get in there, spin around, and do the dirty.
Reserve time.
Omni Knight.
Ooh, all right.
Team pick.
You know, I wanted to see an Omni Knight at the end of the last game, and we didn't get it, but here we go. They'll take heed to my call. Omni Knight Sven. Now, this is a really melee-heavy lineup. I wonder if RRQ could grab something to really benefit that, like a Bristleback or a Magnus. Magnus could be okay if they have a Magnus player. I don't think he's the most popular hero here in the SEA scene. But Omni Sven is damn good. You get that repel on him. He's got a free BKB early on. We've talked a lot about Sven and item slots throughout this broadcast today. And it's common knowledge that he wants a lot of items and will run into slot issues. So giving him the repel opens up a slot for the BKB. He'll probably still have to pick one up at some point. But early on, you know, maybe he gets a Blink S and Y. Normally, he'd think to himself, man, I really need a BKB to survive in these team fights. Instead, he can get away with going a really aggressive item and benefit from the Omni Knight repel. Here we go, the Lone Druid. How did we forget about this guy? He's been banned out in that second stage for most of this. Well, actually, no, he hasn't. A couple of the games today, but a good pick, a greedy pick. A good lane dominator, good against the melee heroes. The Bear can definitely do some work there. Good against Darkseer, as well as Sven, as we've talked about. Two heroes that like to kite. Well, Darkseer likes to kite folks around, and Sven likes to not be kited. So the Entangling Claws are a way to lock him in place. You know, just train the Bear on him, and he's eventually going to get stuck at some point. So it is a pretty good tool to stop that Sven from going crazy. But Omni Knight kind of changes the whole state of that game.
Radiant team pick.
Ooh, my. OD and Quap, the final bands coming out, and Bat Rider without a moment's hesitation from Arcanys. I do like the Bat Rider Omni Knight combo, again, for the same reason. You can put the repel on the Bat Rider. If he has Blink Force Staff, he can do a lot more with a repel than he otherwise would be able to. He can get much more aggressive, and instead of situations where he would maybe have to grab the Shadow Shaman because a counter hex might be very likely, he can go ahead and grab someone like the Juggernaut or the Lone Druid and pull them way far out of position and not have to worry about the counter initiation. And here we go, the Viper, one of my absolute favorite heroes to deal with Sven. He's disgusting, he's gross, and you should feel bad for playing him. I certainly do every time I pub and pick up a Viper, but very good against Sven. There's absolutely no doubt about it. The slows before the BKB come out are huge, and even once he gets the BKB, Viper Strike can still go through it, so the BKB is no longer the end-all, be-all of stopping Sven from getting kited around. I think it's a really good tool to shut down that hero.
Prepare for
I don't know. I like these drafts on both sides. Very different from what we've seen earlier in this series. Omni Knight, Bat Rider, completely ignored. Haven't even seen them thought about yet. Same with Viper, as well as the Shadow Shaman and Lone Druid. I think we saw banned in at least one game, but really, pardon me, the Lone Druid banned in at least one game, but not really getting a hell of a lot of love. So it should be really interesting. Of course, every game comes down to execution, but I think this one more so than others. Man, my brain really is jello today. On the side of Arcanys, you've got a lot of initiation power. You're going to see probably 3 Blink Daggers this game, if not 4, right? Sven, Bat Rider, Darkseer all have great ways to catch people out of position. Disruptor as well. When you're the aggressor, Glimpse obviously sets up a lot.
30 seconds.
RRQ are kind of the same way, though. Viper and Jug, if they catch somebody out of position, a lot of solo kill potential. Lone Druid the same way. A little bit light on crowd controls in general, but Shadow Shaman definitely has some potential to do a lot of work this game. And if his positioning is good, if his early rotations work out, this guy could really get some momentum. You know, we've seen games where Shadow Shaman gets a 10-minute Blink Dagger from getting early rotations and farming in the jungle. And if you can do that, you can actually control that transition from early to mid-game really effectively. The Blink Hex initiation is potent at every stage of the game. So we'll be off-lane Lone Druid. Got the eye patch on. That's good. You know, rub it in a little bit when you get those last hits. I only got one eye, bitch. I'm still last hitting better than you. Viper going to have the Bounty Hunter with him mid, and it looks like Arcanys will try to compensate by keeping the Omni Knight nearby. He does have Sentry Wards as well as Dust already. They're going to Sentry. They might Dust. They already heal up. They've got stacks of Sticky. 2 deployed. Make it 3. And they're going to push him back. Well played by Boombox there. Saw that one coming from a mile away and was able to react just in time. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Sydney in a lot of trouble. He's gone Ion Shell first. They know it. He does pop on the salve nice and early. Knows the Blade Fury can't knock it off. He does get auto attack, though. It does get knocked off eventually. He does survive. That's the important part. Costly in terms of his regen, but also a good read from RRQ to know he doesn't have Surge, and this is the time to zone him out and put a lot of pressure on. Mid lane, though, Omni Knight, he's too far back in the trees. And Bounty Hunter is able to do some decent damage here to Pem. So looks like it'll be a dual lane, at least for a little while here on both sides of the coin. Now down bottom, Lone Druid. Could this be the first blood? Fairy Fire keeps him alive. Most certainly would have been a death without it. Man, that Thunder Strike, you can't underestimate it. They really like these early levels in it. And for a level 1 spell, it does a lot. 4 strikes, 40 each. That's pretty good for level 1. That's higher than average, 160 damage. Compared to Sven's, for example, it only does 100. Here we go. Stormbolt onto Koala. Any follow-up. They've got the Thunder Strike, but I don't think it's enough. Need at least one more auto attack. Omni Knight's on his way in. And they won't get the kill, although they do completely repel the Bat Rider. Why did I say Bat Rider? It's a Lone Druid. For fuck's sake. So both Bat Rider and Viper kind of struggling here in the mid. Both of them are farming at lackluster speeds. If you look at the raw CS, 6 compared to the 5. Then you look at the 12 or 13 of the Sven. Both of them spending a lot of time getting the early momentum in the lane and battling over the wards. It's really important to maintain that Sentry Ward control, because whoever has the Sentry Ward advantage knows where the Bounty Hunter is. Omni Knight has another one, but they're going to save it here. They need to kill it. They get it instantly. Nicely done. And now Bounty Hunter's forced back. They caught a glimpse of him. They know he's nearby, and now they're just going to try to bait it out. Of course, Bounty, too smart for that. We'll just rotate in the jungle and pop on another Clarity. His last Clarity, mind you. Early Oov, 300 gold. Hasn't been the best start for the Bounty Hunter, but also hasn't been a bad one. Hasn't found any kills, nor has he died. Has definitely put some pressure on the Bat Rider. Much needed pressure at that, though he's still finding some decent farm against the Viper. 2-0-2, no point in flame break, but happy just to put pressure on. And what's he have coming out here? Is that the bottle? Yep, sure is. Bottle and boots now up for the Bat Rider. So with the Omni Knight, he should be able to control runes pretty safely. Compliments from that repel. And that's a Bat Rider's dream. So no big surprise here. Sven, our Spectre player from last game, getting a lot of farm in the safe lane. Lone Druid, only one last hit. They're really doing a good job zoning him out. Usually the Lone Druid's able to snake a couple of last hits here and there because he has 2 units. They're going to go in on the Disruptor here. And oh god, the Shockwave doing a lot of work. The neutrals have something against Arcanys. A glimpse will push back the Bounty Hunter. Keeps the Disruptor alive, but it's a close call as he tangos with death here. Bear now going to find a couple of last hits at least. He's got an Oob himself. A couple of Oobs. Just a couple of Oob boys in the bottom lane. How adorable. They've got matching trinkets. Oh. But I think Svenny's still pretty happy. Picked up that early Helm of Iron Will. Nice armor. Nice HP regen. Half of a Ring of Health. That was not too shabby. Use the healing salve. It's a little bit overkill. Might have been a misclick there. That's unfortunate. Well, Bounty Hunter's got his boots now. Zephyr starting to move around. Omni Knight kind of going from lane to lane. Still holding on Dust. They are ready to deal with this Bounty Hunter. And of course, Bat Rider's life gets a lot easier once he dings level 6. Definitely some kill potential there if they can set up onto the Viper. And Viper with the well-balanced 2-1-2 build here. Just an extra point in the Corrosive. Get that value point in the Nether Toxin for easy last hitting. And that second point in Poison attack because, oh, is it value? Scales very well. Down bottom now. Rotation onto the Lone Druid. Boombox coming around the backside. Not level 3 yet. Does not have that point in Degen Aura, but it doesn't matter. They've got a glimpse. Koala gets brought back. Stormbolt's on point. There's your first blood. Very nice. Sven draws the last hit. He gets the extra bit of gold. That would have been even easier if Boombox had that point in Degen Aura. Even hits him with the Purification for extra damage. Very nice setup there. Clean and easy. The power of the Disruptor, man. And this is a big problem for RRQ. Let's compare offlaners for a moment here. Darkseer having a lot of trouble as well. 11 last hits, but only level 2. So he's going to move into the jungle here and try to get a little bit of much-needed experience. Both these heroes can recover pretty well. Of course, Lone Druid can move into the jungle, work on some stacks, but so can the Darkseer. If they start stacking up this jungle for him, he can just Ion Shell those babies down. They can also stack up for the Bat Rider. I feel like Arcanys is really feeling good now. 500 net worth in the lead, although they are at about a 1,000 experience disadvantage.
Mine.
Here we go. Down bottom, Sven. Caught by the roots. Get him, boo-boo. Get him. Oh, there's Omni Knight. Purification. Welcome to game 3. This passive start definitely benefiting the Radiant, though. The team without the bounty. Here we go. Glimpse back onto the Viper. Stacking up the Sticky. There's a lasso, but Jug's on the way. He's got an Omni Slash as well. They'll try to box him out with the Kinetic Field. 4 stacks up on the Viper. He'll eat a Fairy Fire. He's got 10 stick charges. They turn it on the Bat Rider. Nice rotations from RRQ. Shadow Shaman joins the party as well, and they make it happen. Now on the backside, Zephyr. Thinking about the Disruptor. Pops into him. Oh, doesn't go for it. Omni Knight nearby. Probably wouldn't have been a kill. And he does play it safe. All right. Pretty big reaction out of RRQ, but they do keep their Viper alive. And that's the fight that they needed to kind of turn the tides in the mid lane. And now the Viper is a fair bit ahead. 32 net worth compared to the 24 of the Bat Rider. Had a couple hundreds on the end of those, of course. Sven down bottom. Looks like a rotation could be coming his way. If they get some Entangling Claws here, they may try to make it happen. Zephyr comes around the backside. I feel like they just don't have the damage to kill this guy, man. He's got 11 armor as it is. Now Omni Knight comes down. They dust him. And the Bounty Hunter just evaporates. And that's what I was talking about. When you first pick a Bounty Hunter, he is not tanky. All you have to do is carry dust, and he just looks like paper mache. 522 HP. Boombox has really been on point this game. He's had dust as well as sentries from the very beginning, and he has kept this Bounty Hunter in check so effectively. Lone Druid now up to level 6. 18 last hits. Starting to come online a bit more. Bat Riders now retreated to the jungle. Going to get some stacks going. Looks like they've got a 3 stack down here. Double Dark Trolls and a 2-ski right here. No Mud Golems. Should be feeling pretty good about that. 1,200 gold. That'll get him nice and close to that Blink Dagger. Level 3 now on the Bounty Hunter. Still a ways off 6. Let's disrupt or leech a little bit in the mid lane. This is one of the great things about utilizing the jungle in this manner. You can open up the mid lane for your supports that are a bit starved. Bounty Hunter is just the mobile ward right now. Pings out the Darkseer rotation. And Bat Rider clears out all these stacks. Gets him up to about 1,600 gold. Can be maybe a bit more than that. Also finds his level 8. He'll hang on to the Arcane Rune and just chew through a salve. Oh, Mackenzie. Bounty Hunter's pulling out the calculator right now. He's trying to decide if he can do this. He may get glimpsed here. There is some support on the way. The kinetic field just falls short. Bounty's going to get a solo pick before the Jug can even get there. Much needed there on the Bounty Hunter. Those are the kind of pickoffs that get him momentum and make that grind towards level 6 a lot easier. Same build here on the Radiant. Sven Helm of the Dominator first, and he's already dominating some creeps. Looks like he's got a big old stack here. Looks like just a double for now. Dire have decided to ward her up with a sentry, so that'll block at least this next stack here, if not 2 more.
Radiant structures are
A small
fortified.
thing, but definitely worth it. 100 gold investment, yeah. Stop that Sven from just power farming. Right now, the Viper's keeping up with him, and the longer they can keep that a reality, the better. Jug, I imagine, will go for the Battle Fury this game.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
A heavy melee lineup with 3 heroes. I don't see RRQ winning this game before 30 minutes. I mean, they do have some pushing power, but completely breaking the high ground against this lineup. Arcanys have a really good high ground defense team.
Middle tower is under
Every
attack.
single one of these heroes is pretty good at high ground defense.
Dire's bottom
So
tower
even if
is under
RRQ are winning by a lot, even if they take control of this mid game, Viper gets a well-timed mech, they push, they take some towers. Actually breaking the high ground and securing the win is going to take some time. And I think Jug will definitely feel the benefits of a Battle Fury this game, almost no doubt. He may stop off for the drums first. He's got that bracer. Could also just be a casual bracer. We'll see. Oh, Dire lose one of their block
Radiant's
there.
middle tower is under attack.
Arcanys are on point, man. They are not giving RRQ anything. They're really playing heads up. Everything they're hip to the
Radiant's
jive,
middle
man.
tower is under attack.
Let's take a look at raw levels.
Dire's bottom tower is
Darkseer,
under
man,
attack.
he needs to catch up. He's only level 4.
Radiant's top tower
His team is pressuring that bottom tier 1, but the lone druid is now level 8. He's really recovered in that sense. Tier 1 tower up top does fall. Juggernaut gets credit for that. Sven feeling the benefits of the repel. Just war crying run away, that little nibbler. Ogre Club, probably the beginnings of one of them S&Y. That's Sang and Yang.
Dire's middle
Sanjit and
tower is
Yashit.
under attack.
Level 4 up on the Bounty Hunter. Still scouting out the camp here. Might just kill the Satyr Banisher. I feel like that's worth it. Oh! Just barely. So what builds the Lone Druid going for here? Boots, looks like Midas. There it is, okay. So, nice farming investment. Definitely needs it here. Recovery Midas for the Lone Druid. I think absolutely warranted. He's middle of the pack right now. He was the off laner. The other 2 cores are farming very well. Jug stops off for the drum. So now he can get combative and can always go back for the Battle Fury to invest in that farming tool. Again, I still think it's very warranted. Omni Knight, double damage, but now he gets hexed. They turn him into a little ram. There's the shackle. Shuriken does a lot of damage, but he is going to get off the purification. Repel to follow, and they won't get the kill. The rest of the team starting to rotate over. Sven walks on by. It's all 5 of RRQ down in the bottom. And it appears they want to rotate in for this tier 1 tower kill. Mech on the way for the Viper. Pieces on the courier.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Tier 1 mid.
Radiant's bottom tower
Going
has
down to the
fallen.
Radiant. Tier 1 bottom. Going down to the Dire.
Dire's middle tower
Man, what is
has
this game? 4 kills in 13 minutes. Man, these teams are really respecting one another. This is like the most serious Southeast Asian Dota I've ever seen. Everyone's just going farming tools. Teams moving cautiously about the map. This is really high quality Dota. I like this. Sven gonna take out this huge
Dire's
stack now.
top tower is under attack.
Castard. God, I'm such an idiot. Oh, my God, Bat Rider.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That auto attack almost clipped him, man. That was scary.
Dire's
Here we
top
go.
tower
Mackenzie, he's just hanging out here. They find him. Oh, Disruptor. That's not the place to be. He gets off a kinetic field. It's actually going to catch quite a few, but Bat Rider helps him out with the flame break. That was weird. They get a quick pick there. They pop some drums. I hear the bongos. Sven takes an Omni Slash, but he's got huge armor. Now he gets hexed. They're going to carve up that Ram. Omni just too late with the Guardian Angel. That's a big cooldown, effectively wasted. It'll keep him alive a bit longer, but doesn't keep the carry who it was intended for. Surviving through death. Here we go. Bell, 300 gold. Bear goes down. That's worth a hero, but now Bat Rider, he gets way too gully. My gosh. All 5 are still alive, my friend. He just went charging on in there like it wasn't no thing. And I'll tell you what, they put him down.
Has fallen.
They clipped the wings of his bat and ran him into the ground.
Dire's top
2 to
tower
5.
is under
Our first
attack.
real team fight there finally erupts. RRQ are the obvious winners. About a 2,100 gold exchange, or net worth exchange. And they're really pulling the lead now. 3K gold and XP. I feel like everything's kind of going their way right now. Like, they've got the mech, so they can team fight much more easily than Arcanys. Way more sustainability. 2 arcane boots versus none. That's a big difference. You've got Omni Slash wards. Soon to be tracked. Bounty Hunter's still level 5, but this might actually ding him level 6 as Roche goes down. They've got the damage, and they've also got the farming tools. That's what's really scary here.
Sun has fallen to the
They can fight, but they can also farm. And now that they have track, fighting, I think, is going to be a little more tempting. Juggernaut holding on to about 1,700 gold. Could just be pulling up for the Blink Dagger. He might be saying, you know what? Lone Druid's going to be the one that farms heavy. I'm going to focus on items that let me fight now. Go for a Blink, Sanj and Yasha kind of play. Hold that thought, though. Blink Lasso onto the Viper. Is this the target? He's got the mech, and he's got maxed out corrosive skin. He pops the mech. He stays alive for now. Now Juggernaut comes in. He's spinning around like crazy, but he's also taking big damage. Seems like RRQ weren't quite ready for this one. Around the backside, Darkseer coming on in. There's the Bear. Stretch Armstrong shackles. They're going to catch Boombox, but can they actually bring him down? Juggernaut getting stunned up. Doesn't have the ultimate. He's got some stick charges. He will stay alive for now. Track's going out like crazy. Now the Shuriken's starting to bounce around. Jug has the Aegis. That Omni Slash is up in just a few. They get the kill on the Darkseer now. That'll be the end of the Aegis. As he comes up, Omni Slash will be ready, and he might be able to clean house. They're starting to get the track kills, though. Bounty Hunter doing his job well. Sven's going to die without the need of the Omni Slash. They should be able to get the Omni and maybe even the Bat Rider as well. No way for the Omni to get away. That's at least 2 track kills that I was paying attention to. Probably more like 3. And it's a disastrous fight for Arcanys. Here we go. 2,300 net worth. A 1 for 4. Of course, the Juggernaut did have the Aegis, so no net worth lost there. Huge gain.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
2,600 damage done by the Jug. Holy crap. Bounty Hunter getting 1,500 gold out of that fight. Well, not a bad way for your first fight to go right after you get track. I think Zephyr's feeling pretty good right now. Kel'Thuzad! Oh my god! He's running. He's good. He's clear. Oh, but Zephyr might not be so lucky. He doesn't have enough mana for the lasso. He uses the Flame Break instead, and they get the kill on the Bounty Hunter. Nice little consolation for Arcanys.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Lone Druid still just farming away. Is he going to go Radiance now? It looks like it. 3,200 gold. I mean, why not? If you're Koala in this position, you're pretty farmed. Your team's pretty far ahead. Just keep it going. Force staff on the Bat Rider. All right. And they do have the mech on the Dark Seer. So the team fight tools are starting to level out a little bit. But what makes me really nervous here is that RRQ have some pretty good farming tools. Sven up top. He's going to try to go in on the Jug. Fast fingers on the Blade Fury. He just laughs in his face as he TPs home. Oh, man. The power of the Juggernaut really heads up against the Sven. Great reaction time there. Cute little play from the Bounty Hunter. Just softening him up. Radiance is coming. That 17% miss chance, though. So Viper went for the early mech. Now is this just bound to be a BKB? Ogre Club out first. What a quiet, slow and steady, passive farming game. Sven with the Blink Dagger. All right. S&Y Blink. That'll be the build for Sven this go-around. After the HOD, of course. It's still incredible how fast Sven can farm. When you just like have a built-in Battle Fury. I mean, it's not all that surprising, but it is pretty insane that he can keep tempo so well. Jug, where are you, buddy? What are you going for? He didn't go for the Battle Fury. All right, I'm a little surprised. Looks like Sanj and Yasha most likely. Is this a Manta game? Not really. Manta pretty good against Bat Rider. Makes it hard to find the right target if you Manta right as he blinks into Lasso. It's pretty annoying. Makes an obnoxious sound effect when the illusions crit. Here we go. Radiant Vision. Let's take a look. They see Yab Yu. They go in. Lasso. Here's the Force Staff to pull him out, but no! The counter Hex. Shadow Shaman again. Stretch Armstrong grabs him. The Viper lives long enough to mech. Now the GA comes out from Omni. RRQ not out of the clear yet. Kinetic Field traps in the Viper. Looks like he'll be the first casualty. The rest of the Radiant trying to split the nines as they Delta split up here. Repel on the Sven, but he's getting very low. It looks like the heal actually hit somebody else because he was repelled up. It's still RRQ on the back foot. Zephyr trying to run, trying to get away. He doesn't have the movement speed advantage, and he will fall, but he splits it up so his teammates can get out. It's a 1-for-3. Definitely not the fight RRQ were hoping for. It started off pretty well to counter-initiate onto the Bat Rider. Quick fingers from the Shadow Shaman, but unfortunately, they just don't have the damage. And at this point, they're not really in fighting form. I mean, Sanj and Yasha is coming for the Viper, but doesn't even have the Sanj yet. Lone Druid, he picked up the Relic, it looks like, but he doesn't even have Radiance, so he's not really bringing much to the team fights. Bounty Hunter, I mean, yeah, sure, he's Bounty Hunter. He's level 8, but he's not doing so much. And Jug, he's just got a Yasha. I mean, he ulted, he did what little he could, but whenever the GA is on, their damage is pretty effectively neutered. It's Ether Shock. That's their damage that finishes people off through GA. Really nice ult for the Omni Knight, and showing why it was such a smart pick here in this matchup. Completely counters the Juggernaut. You know, I think we probably should have looked at the replay there, but I messed it up. Here we go. Lasso onto the Juggernaut. Follow up by Sven. He'll connect with the stun. They're going to try to chop him down, and Jug will indeed fall. They've got plenty of damage. Another kill going the way of Arcanys. Nice setup there, utilizing this Bat Rider almost perfectly at this point. Erupting with a fury of aggression now that he's got the Blink Force Staff. Sven up to another 2,600 gold. They're going to move into this Tier 2 tower down bottom.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Fear not heresy.
All right, cut the creep wave.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Is this the
attack.
timing? Like, has Arcanys just, like, they were behind by 7,500. RRQ was just running over them. And now it's just like they've hit this stride where what do RRQ against this? Anytime GA is up, a team fight feels scary. And it's coming up in 20. They've got Guardians now on the Dark Seer, so he's just like a mobile well sustaining up the team. Opens up for Omni Knight to grab Aether Lens so he can just sit in the far back and still cast his repels and his heals. Man, Arcanys. I like the way they're executing this. I'm not going to lie. BOT is now up on the Bat Rider. Extra movement speed, more map mobility. We'll see that timing on Roche before too long here. Maybe see a little scuffle over the next stages. Come on, Bear. You can do it. All right, Radiance is up. 23 minutes in. There we go. There's that 17% chlamydia burn. It hurts. What are we looking at here? Oh, looks like they missed the stack. A 1, 2, 3, a foreskin? I think something like that. Nice stack there for Svenny. Looks like Jug's clearing out some ancients as well. What an interesting build that the Jug's going for here. So he picked up the Yasha after that last fight, realizing that, you know what? GA is a big problem. I'm going Diffusal. I need some way to deal with these Ghost Scepters. And when I say Ghost Scepter, I mean Guardian Angel. It's good for Repel, too. But it's a weird build that the Jug's now committed to, where it doesn't really give him that much farming potential, so he can't really close the gap with the Sven unless they just keep winning team fights. He's very squishy at only 1,200 HP, 1,300 HP. And honestly, he doesn't really do that much damage. Here we go. Viper caught by a lasso, pulled into 4. And it's a quick pick for the Radiant. Now they're going to move into the Bounty Hunter. Do they have a gem? Gemma? Nope, but they've got Dust. And Sven will give him the Great Cleave. Another kill here for Arcanys. They move right into the Roche Pit. And oh god, is it a timely Roche respawn? That is definitely a stroke of luck for the Radiant side. They'll move right on in there and start chopping away at the big boy. And will this actually be uncontested? RRQ are starting to move over, acting like they're going to contest this. The Bear's going in. He's got the Radiance. But this may just be a free 300 gold. I'm not sure what the plan was there, Koala. I'm not going to lie. I guess it delayed things a little bit, but that's like a hero kill's worth of gold. Now, here we go. The Omni Slash. GA comes out, but so do the Rost Awards. Hex used on the Bat Rider. They're trying to find the kill on Boombox first, and they do. But it'll cost the Shadow Shaman his life. On the other side, the Lone Druid putting some pressure on the Disruptor. Can't quite find the kill. Now they're going to fight in the wards. Sven, caught by an Entangling Claw. Might actually be enough to soften him up. They'll get the kill on the Disruptor, and now he'll try to square up with the Jug, and it won't happen. Somehow, some way, it's RRQ that are coming out in this fight. The Darkseer tries to surge away, and he will. Bat Rider does live with a lasso in tow. So Koala, I guess he bought some time. I think they could have done that without feeding the bear. I'm not going to lie. But it did secure them enough time to get there and make sure Roche did not die. So it was an awkward play, but I give Koala definitely some credit for creativity there. Just suicide the bear, because you know they're going to look at the bear and try to kill it. As long as you have a resummon, it's an interesting play. It is a mind game, and it definitely bought them some time. Still just a shame to see so much gold, so much experience. The bear was so young. You know, I wonder what the healing ward says. Like, surely that says something. I doubt it's just gibberish. Anybody know? Twitch chat, huh? What does the healing ward actually say on it? Oh, it's dead. Solar Crest up on the Bounty Hunter. All right. The mobile ward continues to scout things out here. Man, both teams still just being so cautious, kind of playing this war of attrition, staying near one another. Look at the opposite vision, and both teams just kind of huddled around their wards. Radiant have one here. They're going to push this tier 2 down bottom. Dire have a ward here, an entryway into the jungle, and they're going to push the bottom tier 2. Very safe plays across the board. The other lens is now completed, and wow, Sven goes right into the Assault Cuirass. So we talked about this before. Will become a bottleneck as we get later in this game, but for now, this is a huge buff for the entire team, and Sven is the ideal person to carry it for probably the next 10 to 15 minutes. Here we go. Hex on the Bat Rider in the mid. Shackles to follow up, but where's the follow-up damage? Now the Druid comes around side. They get the kill. RRQ should be happy with that one, but look out up top. It's old Sven, and he's chopping at your tier 3. Meanwhile, back in the fight here mid, Sydney initiated on, but will back up. And it will cost them a tier 2 tower mid. Bounty Hunter, the only one that's come back. Sven pops the Giant Strength, God's Strength, the big strength, and starts going to work on the tower. Meanwhile, on the Radiant side of things, tier 3 tower taking a lot of damage. Static Storm's been used. The walls also come down. Good positioning from the Darkseer. Let's check back in up on the top. Sven almost gets the tower, and he gets a kill on the Shadow Shaman to boot. Now he's going to get the tower. And he's going to be able to start working on barracks. Back on the other side, the Lone Druid gets taken out. It looks like Viper going to try to run away. but they're probably going to get caught. Meanwhile, back at the base, Sven finishes off the melee barracks. Now he's trying to make the great escape back towards the mid lane. They're going to try to fight GA through the Omni Slash. Batrider taking heavy damage. They just can't bring down the Viper. They actually get the Batrider first, but now the healing ward is deployed. Maybe that can keep Yabu alive. No, Omni Knight, he's trying to chase him down. The glimpse actually helps him out a little bit, but no, the kinetic field traps them both in place. They're stuck in Q. Disruptor might actually die for his penance. Oh no, Boombox still playing Ring Around the Rosie. They've got some more support inbound, but it's just a bounty hunter. Maybe they can get another kill here, but watch out. It's Big Daddy Sven. That's the end of the Aegis of the Immortal. This is one long, crazy, drawn-out fight, but Yabu, oh, he gets glimpsed back, and now Kelt the Zerd. He wants to man up and fight him. The Bear's here. If they get an Entangling Claw, they might be able to grab the Sven, but instead, they want Darkseer. There's the Guardian Greaves. More Ion Shell, and both teams will disengage after that long, drawn-out fight. Buyback used by the Lone Druid and the Batrider, and at the end of the day, it's pretty damn close to a break even in terms of net worth exchange. Wow. That was just pure chaos. Obviously, Sven, though, is the big winner. Melee barracks down up top. Not even the range barracks, just the melee. And that is one of the issues when you're in a scenario like that where you're sort of sieging and you know Sven's split pushing. Which of the heroes on RRQ can confidently say, yeah, I can solo the Sven, no problem. That also aren't crucial to the team fight that's brewing outside the Radiant base. I mean, Bounty Hunter went back, but there's not really that much him and the Shadow Shaman can do. I mean, yeah, they can slow him down a little bit. I guess if they catch him with some good crowd controls and he's in an awful position, they could maybe kill him, but tough stuff for RRQ. Arcanys get the small net worth gain, but now they get that top lane constantly pushing in. RRQ hungry for vengeance. 5 heroes smoked up, rotating down towards this bottom lane perhaps. Blink, Hex, Aether Lens, Initiation, potent and deadly. Who are they going to find? It's Mackenzie. Maybe. Oh, he's hiding in the tree line. They still find him, I think. Oh, he still TP's home. Wow, what brilliant positioning from that Disruptor. Breaks the smoke, scouts it, fogs it in the tree line, and then TP's out before they can interrupt. That's pretty clutch. BKB on the way for the Batrider. Much needed as well. We've seen that counter-initiation Hex be quite potent in a couple of these last few engagements. Sven also has a BKB now. That's a 10-second charge ready to rock, and a Vlad's up on Omni. I feel like I talk about Vlad's a lot, but it is so good, and I think still underutilized in a lot of games. Great here, though. As Sven starts to lower his inventory slot possibilities, he still needs lifesteal. And now if push comes to shove, he can ditch that Dominator and just utilize the aura effect of the Vlads. And in the meanwhile, he can benefit from both. Massive lifesteal, which makes him even harder to kill in these fights. Plus the extra armor, all that good stuff. It's good. I like the Vlads. Well done, Boombox. He's played Omni really well this game. 0, 2, and 7. Great score for a support at this stage of the game. Been very active. Viper's just trying to beef up, though, man. He said, forget about the S and Y. I'm just going to get the Sanj and grab another Ogre Club. I'm going all strength this game. I think he's going BKB next. Both teams still just grouped up, moving about, looking for the opening to start the next fight. Maybe we should take a look at smokes. One smoke for the Radiant. One smoke for the Dire. Both teams do have smokes available. Here we go. Arcanys is going to burn one right now. Take a look at Radiant Vision here. They are pretty blind. They are going to move into enemy territory. And this is Dire Vision right now. They're pretty blind as well. Both teams have no intel on the other. And RRQ are split. This could be bad, but Arcanys guessed the wrong way. And instead they go up top, and it looks like this smoke will not yield a kill. Man. That's one of those like building climactic moments where they're right here, and they have to decide, do we go this way in the lane, or do we go this way in the lane? And if they had gone right, they would have caught at least 1, maybe 2 with that Disruptor. Unfortunate. But no harm done. Just a wasted smoke. There will be more. Smoke now picked up by the Bounty Hunter as well. Jug now with the level 2 Diffusal Blade. All right. Upgrades it a little bit earlier than I would have imagined. He did upgrade the Yasha into Manta as well. It is an interesting choice. You'd think the Sven Cleave would be a bit of a deterrent from that Manta style pickup. But it does give you some nice strength, or nice stats rather. I still think it's okay against Bat Rider. I don't know. It combos well with the Diffusal. So I guess thinking, okay, I want to get the Diffusal Blade. My illusions can now burn mana. You pop it on one of the supports. And if Sven can't cleave him down right away, you will burn a lot of mana. So that is one big benefit. Darkseer, probably a Shiva's Guard coming out on him. Always a good item to have. Well, maybe it's time we check in on the lone Druid. Probably Assault Kuros brewing there. Where's the bear, brah? Harsh, he blows. So he's got a Vlad's as well. And he's actually got 2 Hyperstone. Oh, no, okay, it's an AC. So Hyperstone, Plate Mail, already on the Druid. And there's the BKB for Viper. So all these teams, or all of these players, just continuing to farm up, getting these core items. Now BKBs are coming out. We'll see similar AC timings. Lone Druid's not that far away. Shiva's Guard on the way. Both teams making the right choices. This really does just come down to vision and initiation. Better decision making. And so far Arcanys has just been a little bit ahead. And that's yielded them that top barracks. Radiant's Courier gets picked off here by the Bounty Hunter.
Dire's middle tower has
Basically
fallen.
trades the Courier for a tier 2 tower mid. Let's take a look what was on it. And not much. Just a stick and some sentries. No biggie. But still a nice pick from the Bounty Hunter. Roche up in about 25 seconds. 1 minute short of the max timer, so they know it's got to be soon. That'll be the end of the outer towers for the Dire as they opt to smoke themselves. Good time for RRQ to smoke, unbeknownst to them. They could smoke right into the Roche pit and they'll arrive just as he comes back. Or they could also try to take a fight, and if they win it, Roche will most certainly be up. And they will just walk right by the pit. And instead, they're going for blood. Dire vision here. They see a couple. Of course, Bounty Hunter in the front lines. They're being very cautious for a gem, but there's not one being carried at the moment. Just a couple of dusts, and that's it. Smoke rotation, not going to find anybody. There are a lot of Radiant wards nearby, but it doesn't catch anyone. Now a smoke from the Radiant. They go right into the pit. BKB on. They're going to grab one with the lasso, and now the Static Storm Kinetic Field comes out. Rasta wards get deployed, but Shadow Shaman gets pulled up to the high ground. It's looking like a pretty good fight for Arcanys so far. They're reasonably healthy, and now the GA comes out. It's starting to spread. Viper goes one way. Zephyr in the mid goes the other. Disruptor, the only casualty across all that. Now they're just going to go for the bear. And they will get it. He does have a resummon available. Going to try to TP home, and he makes it. It's a close call. So Disruptor for a bear. Of course, they do stop Roche. He's still standing with a lot of HP to spare. There's that wall of replica. Boombox.
Purified.
Pressuring back the remaining members of Arcanys.
Bonds will break.
Arcanys still have a lot alive, but all their ults are down now. No God Strength for another 25, and no GA for over 100. Still very spread out here, though. RRQ have 2 down bottom. They're going to bump into the team. Oh, God. Sven's going to find him, and this Shadow Shaman should be toast. Very awkward positioning. Again, just completely split up, and all the while, top barracks get pushed in. Radiant creeps do the work for them. And they're feeling the benefit of that early team fight they found. Now it's a 5v4 the other way. BKB used by the Bat Rider. Has a lasso, but taking huge damage. Gets the Jug up onto the high ground, but then brings him down. The Jug actually starts to channel his TP and realizes he doesn't need it anymore. Still no one dead in this initial skirmish. And they'll actually turn it around on the Bat Rider. Maybe a bit too aggressive, but now BKB is on for Sven. He's trying to find someone, but he can't find a target. He's just getting kited back and forth. That's his Static Storm, but he can't find anyone. Can't even get the stun on the Juggernaut. Might still be able to click him down, but no. Jug makes it away. The slow from the Viper locks him in place. Now the Bear slowing down Boombox. The Shuriken starting to bounce around. The movement speed from RRQ is being felt. Compliments of all these tracks from the Bounty Hunter. If the Bear dies here, this could be huge. Doesn't have a resummon for another 30 seconds, and they know it. They're going to man up with the Bear. Now Koala needs to try to run, but no, he's going to stay. They bring down the Sven. It'll cost him the Viper. They're going to stick around with the Disruptor, and it will be RRQ that takes this fight. It's long. It's chaotic, but finally, Roche is theirs for the taking. Buyback now on the Bat Rider. It's about a 4K net worth swing going in favor of RRQ. They do finally get Roche. Jug's rewarded with the Aegis. And I think that's where the action finally settles down. My God. That was ridiculous. That is one big drawback to this Arcanys lineup, is that they are way more cooldown reliant. If Omni Knight has a GA for that second long fight, it goes completely different. But it's just a long cooldown. RRQ have that benefit of, well, we got Omni Slash on a long cooldown, but Jug can still provide a lot without it. Lone Druid, the Bear is the only long cooldown. As long as the Bear is up, he's feeling good. Shadow Shaman, wards are 2 minutes, but still less game-changing than that AoE GA. Viper's the big one, though. The spammable ult on only a 30-second cooldown. You just saw how hard he was to bring down that entire team fight. Here, let's see. We might have a replay that we can queue up. Let's take a look here. All right. So this is the later part of the fight. This is like the last big team fight where he almost cliffs the Jug, pulls him down, Jug TPs, realizes, oh shit, I actually don't need to do this. And the Viper just stands his ground the whole fight. He zones out the Bat Rider, kills him, and then after that, there's just no pressure on him. Sven sort of tries. He pops the BKB, then Sven gives up. And Viper is what keeps Jug alive. I mean, he's the whole madness that let that fight go so in favor of RRQ. So while we're looking at that replay, there's a smoke from this Dire side. Looking for a wraparound as Arcanys are grouped up as all 5 in the top lane. This is Radiant Vision we're looking at. They don't see it coming. Dire can see it now. They're going to bump right into Mackenzie. And that's going to be a dead Disruptor before this fight even starts. No, he gets it off. He's going to survive. GA comes out as well. Jug's going to be mitigated here. He'll fall. He does have the Aegis. He's coming right back up. Viper gets low, but he stays alive, at least for now. Rasta wards have been deployed. Now Jug's going to start bouncing around, but is it enough damage? Viper's fallen. They lose the bounty. Arcanys seem to have the sustainability, but finally this Omni Knight's getting low. One more heal, one more repel. The Guardian Greaves keep him up. On the backside, it's the Dire getting completely destroyed. Koala trying to do what he can with the Bear, but they will kill the Bear before the Druid. It looks like they interrupt the TP. Nice vacuum there from Sydney. And it's going to be a clean 5-0 wipe. The Dire side need to find the mop and bucket because they're in dire straits. 21-20, Arcanys have finally taken control. That's another 6K net worth swing. Beautifully executed. We are most certainly going to look at the replay on that one because the other replay harbored our ability to enjoy that initiation. Let's pull her up. All right, instant replay time, baby. So Disruptor, we're looking at the vision, just has no clue that they're coming. Gets obliterated, except he lives. Omni gives him the repel. He gets his combo off, and that's where this fight starts to go dark. The rest of the follow-up damage is there. Viper gets kited around. And the whole time, they're on the defensive. RRQ never really get close to winning that fight. They just slowly drag it out. Now here we go, focusing on the game. Buyback available for the Lone Druid, and he might need it. Lasso to get it started. They destroy the Shadow Shaman. Mid barracks have already fallen. Arcanys now have 2 lanes of barracks advantage, and they're just going to go right down bottom. Buyback from the Shadow Shaman. The Druid's holding it. He doesn't have a resummon anyway, so that's why he's going to hold the buyback here. And Arcanys will just go straight up the mid. They force 2 buybacks, Jug as well as the Shadow Shaman, and they still clear out the barracks. 2 lanes down. This is pretty crippling damage. Sven's just gone back for the Daedalus now.
Illusion.
10K net worth, 7,500 experience. The favor for this Radiant squad. Wow. It's looking like Arcanys might be able to do it. Sven's net worth now is just massive. He's leaps and bounds ahead of everyone. And again, we see this bottleneck of the Assault Cuirass. I mean, I think it worked out well for him in this game. It allowed him to propel to this point. But now, what do you do with this money? BOTs? Ooh, just eat a Moonshard. Okay, that's one way to do it. I like it. It's bold. It's defining. It's George Clooney. Also, Mackenzie, the big breadwinner in that last fight, not dying. Aghanim Scepter, completed on the Disruptor. Say goodbye to your BKBs. They don't have any, except for Viper. Still a great item, though. AoE Doom ult. So RRQ, they are in Hail Mary's point at Mel Harry time. Hail Mary. That's what I'm trying to say. It's bad. It's all bad. They only have one tier 4 tower standing. Jug picks up a Blink Dagger, just trying to spend his money. This Jug build, I think, is just pretty underwhelming. But this will be a tough defense to make. The only buybacks available in the game right now are Darkseer and Omni Knight. And they're both on the Radiant. Still a little while before Roche comes back up. And even though Arcanys aren't ending the game right now, they're not shoving into the base, RRQ are still struggling. They don't have anywhere to farm. They're completely locked in their base, dealing with mega creeps. They'll smoke now, and this could be that last-ditch effort YOLO smoke. They are absolutely up against the ropes. If this smoke fails, I think the game's over. Radiant Vision. They're not going to see it coming. Dire Vision. They don't see him coming either. Here we go. Blink across. Shadow Shaman grabs the Bat Rider. Hex onto the Omni Knight. But a beautiful Static Storm keeps the Omni Knight alive. But no, not long enough to use the GA. They get a quick pick. But that's it. And I don't think there's much of a follow-up objective here for RRQ. Well, certainly not bad. But dare I say, not good enough.
Bottom tower is under attack.
However, the game will continue. I think Arcanys may just wait out for the next Roche. Play it safe. Grab the Aegis. And I think it's Aegis Cheese. So why not? You're in no hurry. Your Bat Rider's closing in on Octarine Core. Could be a little patient. Wait for him to farm 2,000 gold. Because it's not just about the current state of the game, how far behind RRQ are. It's more about what's their ability to recover. Do they have a hero like Ember Spirit that could still buy a Rapier and turn this game around? You know, do they have that Medusa who could go raid boss, double Rapier, Lincoln's Butterfly Rapier? I think the answer is no. Viper, Lone Druid, Jug. They can all hold their own in the late game. But none of the three are putting out that same kind of pressure that this Sven is when he just jumps in and just starts cleaving around the team. Apples to oranges. Roshan going to be coming up here in just a couple of seconds. It is a fast Roche respawn, just a few seconds from the minimum. And this could actually be huge for Arcanys. It's a Dire Vision right here. They do have a ward down right there, so they see what's happening. They know it's up, but can they even contest it? That's a completely different question. They don't have much lane control, and if they do want to contest this, they need to go, go, go. They're late for a very important date. Roche falling quick. They're pushing out the mid lane, and that's it. Roche goes down. Radiant will pick it up. Aegis goes the way of Sven. And Cheese will get picked up by Omni. Sven drops his BKB. My God, that's brave. I mean, I guess what else are you going to drop? I guess the Sanjin Yasha, maybe. Are they going to do a clutch play where they pass him the BKB? Like he's going to use the Aegis, and then the courier is going to be flying nearby, and then it's going to pass him the BKB, and he's going to use it. That's what he's going to do. Look at the courier's positioning. It's clutch. I like it. Let's see if he can do it. How's your courier, Micro Sven? Have you been practicing? We're going to see. All right, Dire, here we go. This is the defense that you have to make. There is a glyph, but Sven just runs right up to the high ground, just softens up that tower right away. Repel, Aegis, Ion Shell, not a care in the goddamn world. Here we go. Batrider goes in. Lasso onto the bounty hunter. Force staff back. Actually cutting him around, but still, Sven gets the kill. Now he grabs the next one in line. It's bad news for the Dire. Jug goes down before he even ults. Shadow Shaman gets out of the base, tries to lock him down, but the GA does still come out, and Arcanys will remain relatively healthy. It's a fast 3-0, and now Viper going to be very far forward. Looks like he'll be the next victim. Or is it going to be Sven? Remember, he's still got the Aegis. Even if they kill him once, they're going to have to kill him again. Omni Knight with the Purification keeps him up. There's the Aegis. Rasta wards are definitely helping here, and now the Viper standing his ground is putting decent damage into the Batrider there, but in comes the Courier. Sven's got the BKB, and the Courier stays alive. Very nicely done, and RRQ are running out of resources. Viper gets pushed back. Batrider, one last auto attack, gets the kill. Now the Glyph is deployed. Tier 3 tower's already fallen, and Sven still has the BKB. At this point, he can just BKB, focus on the structures, and that'll be it. And it is. GG is called. And Arcanys will be moving on to the semifinals of the C Kappa Invitational Season 1. RRQ not eliminated, though. Showing that they've got some prowess with a blade. An epic series. Quite the back-and-forth saga indeed. They will have a chance to fight their way through the lower bracket. Maybe we'll see them again in the grand finals. A heated series. But Arcanys prove triumphant. 9-4... No, Jesus, 7-4 and 9. Whew. That was one badass Sven. Well, guys, that brings our coverage today to an end. Thank you so much for joining us for more C Kappa coverage. We're going to have more coverage coming up tomorrow, I believe. The future days schedule is still unconfirmed, but we will be posting about that soon, TM, on the moonducktv, or the Moonduck Twitter. Follow us at moonducktv on Twitter and Twitch. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter as well, at ZioriTV. We're going to have a quick break, and then there's going to be a live Ziori podcast coming up on the channel after this. So probably like a 10, 15-minute break. Got to get my guest here, and then we're going to talk all sorts of Shanghai major good ones. So lots to stick around for, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.